Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast, aka the Pup List. This is episode 319. We're recording this live on Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. I'm joined right now by my co-host, Ren. How you doing,
What up,
Ren?
Tay?
We got an exciting episode tonight. We have back on the program our friend, Joey Christopoulos. He's a Bears fan, sports broadcaster down in Chicago. So we've got him on. So let's bring him in now, Ren. Welcome, Joey. Oh, he's ready.
And Joey, there it is. You should have been up here during the draft with Seth Rollins, talking all the smack to the Packer fans, making your pick. Oh man, you should have been with us. We could have been breaking bread, but what better time to talk to you in the dead of the offseason with, yes, the offseason champs, the man, the myth, the legend, Joey Christopoulos, Bears legend fan. Hey man, we love to hear it. The offseason 2022 went well, 3-12, 2022, 2023, 7-10. Last year you get the quarterback, 5-12. You win your Super Bowl in Green Bay. You get off the LaFleur hump. I mean, it can't be better than being a Bears fan here in 2025. Joey, tell us what's going on in your world.
Gentlemen, welcome. Oh, yes, all this pish-posh about regular season and playoffs. No, this is my time. This is summertime right now. You both look tan, rested, and ready. I am, yes, the Chicago Bears. We are off-season kings once again. The dynasty reigns. So sit down, Derek Jeter. Forget it, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, that QB, whatever thing you have going on right there. We are the true champions. And gentlemen, it's great to see you. Oh, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. I have to put it down.
I know. It just weighs you guys down every offseason.
New coach, new car smell. It's great. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys.
It's great to see you. Speaking of new coach, I think Tay's got a little cringe for us up front here with the little Ben Johnson audio.
Yeah, we got this guy here, Joey. I think you're all too familiar with him. We got to bring this up a little bit. But he said this. Hopefully, you can hear the audio here, Joey. But he said this early. I think in that press conference there.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Oh, so
shot fired.
Yeah, what a goofy thing. What a cringe moment, man.
Oh, my God.
I loved it. It was fantastic. Pandering to the fans.
Yeah, get your bingo card out. New Bears head coach says something about, in the most corny, cheesy way about us beating the Packers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think
prerequisite.
Isn't that a Lovie Smith holdover where you've got to put your stamp in the ground to kind of threaten the Packers? Like, hey, that's our most important goal.
Well, so to be very fair, Lovie played the Packers very well for many years. Of all the people that backed it up, Lovie did back it up playing the Packers. But again, our general manager, Ryan Poles, I'm rooting for the guy, but still has not drafted a player that has made a Pro Bowl yet. He said, we're going to take the North and never give it back. I'm sure Matt Eberflus said some sort of gobbledygook about beating the Packers. We're going to get into it. I'm excited about I'm excited and optimistic about Ben Johnson, right? I mean, he is the shiny new toy and the belle of the ball of the offseason. But again, this is all just talk, dude. Like, we've heard all of this before. As Packers fans, does it even register? You guys this just makes you laugh, right?
It's fun. You got Caleb tweets from 2018 rooting on the Packers, and then he's out at a concert saying F the Packers, getting chants going. It's just funny. It's like we're just living in Bears coaches, Bears fans, Bears players' heads. Grady Jarrett's ready to get after Jordan Love after they chirped last year in Atlanta. I think it's great, man. It's good theater. And yeah, we have a lot of chuckles about it up here in the northern part of Wisconsin.
Well, and it would be cool. I mean, this is now more the Bears side of me, right? I think it would be really cool if these games really did start to mean something again.
Agreed.
It's been several seasons since that has really played any huge part of it. And yeah, I mean, heartbreak and trauma, and the Bears are on the losing end. But if we're losing 31-28, I'll take that. And I think it's good for both of our fandoms. If both of the teams get serious again about winning, you guys have been serious about winning for a while. We haven't. So let's see if maybe this is the first year where it begins to turn around.
Right, Joey. I mean, like if you look at the Packers' domination of the Chicago Bears, you've only won 3 times in the last 10 years.
And you know these graphics you just have ready to slap me in the face with. I love it. They look really good, though.
Thank you.
I like it. Tay spent his hard time at work today doing this, so I don't know how much money he made for his boss, but he certainly did a hell of a time on the graphics.
Oh my gosh!
But
beautiful.
Yeah, to your point, Joey. I mean, it's like, yeah, are the Bears just a pest? Like when it comes around off season, it's like, get out of here. Like what's going on? But I mean, you have been accused of having healthy skepticism of the Bears this year. But for the Packer fans, really, it's pretty black and white for us. Either the Bears still suck, which is most of the time, or they're really good and they're going to the Super Bowl. It's like it's one or the other for them. And, you're again, for us, I'm sorry, you're in the middle and it's Bears still suck once the season starts because it's prove it, right? And I think that's how you feel about it, right?
Well, look, I'll play the game and I'll stay in the black and white with you guys. Where if it really is like that door number 1 or door number 2, I am probably leaning closer towards the Bears still suck. Right? I am not sitting here, and I'm not even doing this to whatever to protect myself in a Packers podcast. I've been like this all summer long. I'm kind of tired of, as a Bears fan, and Packers are probably like, well, it's about time. I'm tired a little bit of the charade of whatever it is. Fresh new coat of paint, new coach comes in, all 20 to 25 of the coaching buddies say that he's the next whatever, and he's going to change this, and he's going to change that. It is a little bit different right around, let's just try and be contextual here. It is a little bit different where, unlike Matt Nagy, who never really actually called plays, and if he did, he only did it for a short span of time with Kansas City. Ben Johnson has been the offensive coordinator calling the shots in Detroit for several years, right? So, I mean, at least in terms of experience and that backlog, at least that checks the box. But as a Bears fan, we're sitting here and asking ourselves the questions of, can he take it to the next level? Can he become someone who is similar to a Shanahan and McVay? Can he really out-scheme the opponent to give the Bears an advantage, something that we've never really seen before outside of probably that 2018 season when Matt Nagy opened up the bag a little bit and was running some trick plays, and it was smoke and mirrors, but it was a version of an out-scheming of an opponent. And then the other part about it comes down to our second-year quarterback, who now all of a sudden, thank you very much, McCaskey's in the Bears franchise, we kind of really don't know what to make of, because he can't get a free full pass for last year, but he deserves a bit of some slack from what happened and what he endured last year. So how do you make sense of what he's going to do in year 2, and how is he going to mesh with Ben Johnson moving forward, and what does that mean for the next 3, 4, 5 years of the franchise? So if we're sitting here and saying, I just want to see it, dude. I just want to see it week in and week out. We'll know exactly like what this team is all about. I have tons of problems and issues and worries with the defense right now. So if we're relying on this offensive explosion, wake me up when that happens. I might be taking a nice long siesta when it comes to Bears football on that side. So yeah, I'm healthily skeptical this year. I just want to see it, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say, we'll get to the draft in just a second here, but yes, the offense looks a little better than defense for the Bears right now. But Ben Johnson coming in, he's an offensive mind. It seems poised for the right fit. But do you think Ben has what he needs right now? Or is this, I guess, how long or how painful are we going to go through for the Bears until he gets his team? And how long could that be?
No, I think that's a great question, Tay. And honestly, I don't see enough Bears fans in this town calibrating their expectation to try and dive into what that question, what it really means. The long short of it is no, I don't think he has every weapon or every version and every single piece of the offense in the image of how he would like to run it. I think there's a lot of people in this town already asking themselves questions of the one that's very probable is DeAndre Swift is probably not long for Chicago. He will probably be on the team this year, but they probably will move on from him the next year. And then the other one, too, is they just gave a ton of money to DJ Moore. And DJ Moore is a great go-up-and-get-it receiver. He's incredibly tough. You can use him in a lot of different ways. But the MO on him is that he isn't a step-for-step, blade-of-grass type of route runner that Ben Johnson seems to love and adore. So where is that? That feels a little bit like oil and water to me. And then
he's getting a little old too, Joey. He's not a young man anymore.
No, 100%. So is he all of a sudden maybe trade bait moving forward? Ben Johnson has said everything positive he possibly could about Cole Kmet, the person and the teammate. He hasn't said anything positive about Cole Kmet, the player. So how does that play itself out? And then I'm going to be real with you, man. Like, you're hoping that there's a symbiosis of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, where they come together and make beautiful music together for many, many, many years. But I will tell you that by the end of this year, we will be coming up on the 28th, 30th, and 33rd, 34th start, hopefully, for Caleb Williams. You will know a lot more about him as a quarterback and as a player. And the last time I checked, they have made a huge financial commitment to Ben Johnson. They have not made that commitment yet to Caleb Williams. I like Caleb Williams. I want him to succeed. I'm incredibly optimistic about it, but I'm just calling it for what it is. And you asked the question, are all these pieces in place the exact way that Ben Johnson wants it? No, they are not. So some jobs could be in flux in the next 12 to 18 months in the land of Bears. The offseason king,
the
by the way.
Offseason magic.
Where we
Let's
laugh
talk
and
about
dance
that.
and play.
No, I will disagree with you on have they put that money towards Caleb, because Drew Dahlman, the number one center in free agency, they grabbed him. 42 mil, 28 guaranteed, a lot for a smaller guy.
26 years old, so
he's still young enough. But then Joe Tooney, I mean, you're talking, back-to-back first-team All-Pro guy that then they signed to a massive extension, super reliable. 2 starts in 9 years he's missed. I mean, that's a huge get. And then Jonah Jackson, obviously, Ben Johnson familiarity. You've obviously sent a 2025 6th-round pick for him, but bring out another $17 million of his salary this year. He's a flexible guy on the O-line. They said, hey, you know what? We're bringing that money. We're protecting Caleb. We're remaking that interior. That's a huge, huge bet on him, and said, we need this in order to make this thing work right. Obviously, an offensive-minded coach. In order for Ben to do what he needs to do, he needed those guys there. And listen, the Bears management put their money where their mouth was, and they got it done. They spent a ton of money, and that's not even getting to the Grady Jarrett's of the world too, and the Dio Odabingo. Yeah, another situational edge to go with Sweat. I mean, they spent some serious money, Joey, in the offseason working on the trenches on the offensive and defensive line. So
no, that's a great counter, Ren. You're 100% right. And if anything, it is trying to eliminate, or at the very least, reduce the amount of excuses or areas that you can maybe point to that would maybe explain reasons why Caleb doesn't have a good year this year. He 100% should have a good year this year. I think we're doing a topic on it tomorrow on CHGO Bears, which honestly, I might be on that show tomorrow. Hint, hint. But we're doing PFF just came out, and I think they have the Chicago Bears offensive line ranked either 3rd or 4th in the NFL right now. And I had to sit down for a second. because the circulation in my head and my body just got irregular. So you're making a great point here. And look, in Chicago for years, I don't think we've had an offensive line that's ranked with a 1 in front of it, let alone in the top 10 ever. We're always in the 20s. We're always in the 20s. So again, healthy skepticism, I want to see it. I'm not expecting them to be the top 4, top 5 offensive line in the NFL. But if you told me that the Chicago Bears have, let's just say, an 11th or 12th ranked offensive line in the NFL, that is a substantial upgrade. Substantial upgrade from what we saw from last year, which does give you an opportunity, which helps Caleb Williams out a little bit more, should help out the run game, should help all of it out. Does it solve Caleb Williams' downfield accuracy? I don't know. We'll see. But it does give them an opportunity to prove people wrong. So, no, you are right, man. There is a really interesting investment there. But again, a type of investment that I think any quarterback that played quarterback for the Chicago Bears would get. You know what I mean? With Ben Johnson now.
Right. And I'll be interested to see what Caleb can do now in the Ben Johnson offense inside of structure where he's going to need to play, and there's going to be massive structure that he's going to be expected to play within. And we saw when he kind of got out of that, obviously the train, fell off the tracks after the Washington game just kind of like the Washington game just took that thing and he just kind of played rogue the rest of the season. It was not a good thing.
It was Yoko Ono jazz. Yoko Ono acid jazz was the structure of the Bears offense last year. So again, it's kind of really hard, right, for me to, I don't want it to come across as like I'm even really dinging Caleb Williams, even though I'm just like, I kind of haven't seen it from him yet. And I am curious to see the contrast of how messed up it really was last year, comparable to something that maybe looks a little bit closer to sanity this year from the offensive side of the ball.
Nice.
Well, as they say, though, it all starts and ends with the trenches on the defense and the offense. So. Yeah,
and we've talked about that a bunch too, and I bet you guys feel the same way. You guys feel the same way in Green Bay. You know what I mean?
100%. The Packers, even obviously another big pick in the second round with an offensive tackle that doesn't even slate to start, and they were ranked in PFF, I think, like the 14th graded offensive line, which I think is just an abomination because the Packers have depth on riches on the O line, but it's list season, man. Who knows?
Yeah, 100%.
Joey, we talking about that offense and everything. I do want to ask you just your general thoughts about the Bears draft, but when you look at the first pick overall for the Bears at number 10, Colston Loveland, is that, this is the tight end, right? This is the one that captured everyone's attention. But I guess my question is, how do you feel about him and his implementation right away? Like, I think Cole Kmet maybe got a reality check, but at the same time, to your point, they might use both of them as Ben Johnson is saying now. But how does Loveland's impact have on this team this year? Like, is it fair to expect everything from Colston in his rookie year to kind of like help the offense take that next step? And I guess, just give me your comments here after that about the Bears draft in general.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair at all. Like, first of all, he's coming off a shoulder surgery, so he's not even really like that technically on the field. Other part about it too is that a great just reminder for anyone, especially if you play fantasy football, when it comes to receivers and tight ends, it is really hard to get on the field in the first month or so of the season. There is a lot of stuff that you have to check, a lot of boxes on to get on that field and be a trustworthy type person. Do I think Colston Loveland will see some looks and be productive? Yeah, I do. I mean, look, once Kelvin Banks was off the board, I thought that was going to be the guy for the Chicago Bears. I really do. I turned out to be a little bit on the wrong side because clearly they were looking at this guy Colston Loveland, a dude that apparently a lot of other people were looking at in the draft at that time. Look, I cover the Big Ten, so I like Colston Loveland a lot. He is a little bit of like a hidden gem in just the respect that I don't think anyone can understand or underestimate how bad the quarterback play was for the Michigan Wolverines last year, and how the dude was still able to make some plays. I swear to you, these dudes could not throw the ball more than 30 feet with a spiral. It was really difficult to watch.
Like Quinn Ewers' arm, just a noodle.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers, not also a big fan of him either. But no, look, I do like it now. When you're going back to Ren's original question of guys that fit Ben Johnson's offense, this is a dude. This is a dude that Ben Johnson signed off on. So I have to give some grace to it. And I have to give a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, even though the benefit of the doubt is no longer afforded to a guy like Ryan Poles. You move over to Luther Burden. Luther Burden, I think, is a really risky pick for just where the Bears are as a franchise right now. I'm going to talk about this lightly. You've probably read about some of it anyways, but I have talked to some people that he's got to learn how to have an NFL work ethic. Let me just put it like that. He needs to learn how to have an NFL work ethic. He has a ton of talent, and I don't think he's necessarily a guy that you're going to see pop and produce at a high level in his rookie year. I think he's more of a longer-term project. Maybe if you get lucky and the Bears are rolling in November or December, maybe you start to see him a little bit. But I do think it is going to be that 12 personnel, 2 tight end set with Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. I think Ben Johnson talks a lot about running different routes in similar formations and then coming in different formations and running similar routes out of that and not making it as predictable as possible. So, I'm kind of up in the air about Luther Burden. I wanted a running back there. I wanted Travion Henderson. He was my favorite running back in the draft. Bar none, I think he's going to be a star. He went 1 pick before the New England Patriots. There was other options there, and they passed on it. Aji Trapillo, I didn't know a ton about him. He is incredible. He's huge. He's a very tall gentleman.
Big guy.
Our quarterback is 5'11", so it does make you go, okay. But I didn't know a lot about him. The more I read about him, the more I like him. They do have him lining up at left tackle currently, so if Braxton Jones from his ankle surgery isn't ready to roll week 1, they can easily move him in as a stopgap in that moment and have him as some sort of rotational piece. And then the rest of it's all kind of traits type stuff. I don't really know. Ruben Hippolyte, special teams, right? I don't know. Shamar Turner, maybe a rotational guy at best. We'll see. Zoff Frazier. I hope we don't get to Zoff Frazier this year. That means we have injury issues in our secondary, one of our more stronger units. The one guy that I do like on this, and look, we got to take this with a grain of salt. Love Kyle Monangai. Early on in my prep last year, especially in that non-con schedule of the Big Ten, what are we going to talk about? Who do we talk about? I talked a ton about Kyle Monangai. Low center of gravity, incredibly strong, runs super hard. I love his cuts. I think he can help the team out right away. When I say that, though, Packers fans, don't worry. I'm, 5 to 8 carries a game, right? Like, just be a part of the rotation. You know what I mean? Be a cog that helps out towards the solution, not be the solution. So, a lot of offensive pieces. Again, Ben Johnson likes these guys. Mm-hmm. Let's see how he coaches them up. Let's learn about this stuff as quick as we can. But if you're asking me, I gave the draft like a C+ or something like that. I wasn't, I'm not banging the drum for Ryan Poles' decisions. And there's a lot to learn about how Ben Johnson is going to integrate his offense in Chicago.
I hear about, some of those personality traits, and Burden was linked to the Packers a little bit. What will they do at wide receiver? They won't take one in the first round. Well, in fact, they did. Wasn't my favorite receiver, but I still do like Matthew Golden. But you guys quietly, what is it, Zacchaeus out of Washington? Olamide, do you see him as more of the impact guy over Burden, year one? 45 for 506 in 2024, not too bad. 3 TDs with Washington, can play the slot. I think that he projects as your third, I would say right away, as opposed to Burden more we'll see what develops there.
Yeah, 100%. I think what I like about Olamide coming in is that, for me personally, and this is going to maybe sound a little bit kind of like simplified, but I do like the idea when a coach or an offense finds bread and butter. And when they find bread and butter plays, they can kind of sort of pivot and variate off of that a little bit. And I think Zacchaeus Olamide is for those out-scheming moments. When Ben Johnson maybe wants to out-scheme an opponent, I think he will play a role in that. If you want to talk about running a quick reverse or just trying to get the ball into somebody's hands really quick, that can play.
Backfield guy.
Yeah, he can play a little bit of a role in that too as well. So again, the hope is, or the optimist side of it is, his role on the team will be the guy that scores that touchdown and you go, who the hell is that guy? Or He hasn't touched the ball all day, and he just scored a 65-yard touchdown. Like, I think that's the type of role that he's going to have. Man, if he came up with 30 to 35 catches or something like that this year and 4 touchdowns, I'd be like ecstatic. I'd be elated. So,
yeah, I think it was one of their better, quiet, not big signings that they did in free agency. Obviously, they did a ton, as we just talked about with, the interior offensive line. But hey, Grady Jarrett too. We briefly touched on that. Big dude, just anchors that center. They need that guy, but get a little old in the tooth, and they paid him a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, look, I think a big part of it is it's still a little bit of a transition year where maybe the Bears can surprise. But let's be honest, they needed more adults in the room, and Ben Johnson is an adult in the room. Matt Eberflus was a substitute teacher parading as an adult in the room kind of thing. I think with Grady Jarrett, I think he just adds another dude who, if you ever hear him talk or if you ever check out an interview of Grady Jarrett, dude's going to have a future in media. He's incredibly personable. He cares. He says all the right stuff. He was a pillar in the Atlanta community. And I'm not saying that's going to translate on the football field, but what I am saying is he's the type of people that we need in Hallis Hall right now, just to set the kind of quiet examples that I don't think were being set over the last couple of years. And we'll see, right? I mean, Dennis Allen's defense is predicated on pressure from up the middle and on the inside, which better happen because they damn sure don't really have a lot of pass rush on the outside. I still think if you're a Packers fan, I still think you're going to be able to kind of get a little bit of what you want on the defensive side from the Bears. I think the Bears defense, I think they take a little bit of a step back, and they were middle of the pack this year, last year already. And I just don't see how they get after the quarterback. And I just think that eventually is going to become the type of problem that could hold a team back from winning 7 games or 10 games. Can they get the other team off the field at the right time? I just quite don't see it right now. I like Montez Sweat. I like Grady Jarrett. I like some other pieces, but man, the whole "it takes a village" thing. Again, Ren, Tay, trenches, man. You need dudes up there. You don't.
Ours are also pretty mid. I'll tell you, in Green Bay, the front line on the D line
on the D
is it leaves a lot of question marks. So we'll see how the back end plays based on the front end. What they develop or don't. And we're kind of in a similar position with those edge rushers. Are they going to produce or are they not? And do they have enough?
No, and that's a great point because I think there's a lot of different areas and position groups where the Packers and the Bears probably have edges over, say, the Minnesota Vikings, but the Minnesota Vikings are going to be a really tough team to play. Even if their quarterback sucks, even if JJ is a rookie and a rookie true blue all the way through, they're going to be really tough to play. And that's just going to make it difficult. You know what I mean? So.
And they really, really beefed up their interior D line there in Minnesota. So, and honestly, even if JJ's mid, like the Bears fans believe Jordan Love is, I mean, with what he has to work with as a rookie second-year starter, he's going to be in good shape.
Yeah, 100%.
Kevin O'Connell's good too, man. Kevin, that's a good coach.
We did this last summer, man. NFC North is no joke, and it completely showed up with flying colors last year. And maybe the strength of the division has gone down 4 or 5%, but it's still going to be the best division in the NFL. And all the games are going to be great. And as a Bears fan, I would love to just be a part of those games when they actually matter for our team. That we didn't get that luxury last year.
I think the arrow is sadly pointing up, Joey. It's heading in the right direction.
That's where the guy can still careen into someone's backyard, but it's like,
I'm not totally concerned, but I would say there's more than a pulse there, without a doubt.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, I know you have limited time tonight. I just want to bring up one more thing here. We got a new pope. The Catholic Church has a new pope, and his name is Pope Leo the 14th. His given name was Robert Francis Prevost, and he is 70 years old. But Pope Leo, he is the first pope to be born in the United States. He was raised in, Dalton, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago near you, right? But it is confirmed that he is a White Sox fan. So, Joey, I have one question. Is it just a little unfair for you guys to ask and then receive divine intervention for sports in Chicago?
Because they're so bad down there. This might be what it takes, Joey. This they might have had to get this, because it's been brutal down in Chicago.
We had to call the man upstairs because things are dire here in Chicago.
I don't blame you.
Well, you are okay. So you're and gentlemen, again, I'm sorry I'm short on time, so I got to hop off after this. Again, I'm going to come back in August, and we're going to do like a season preview, and we're going to put our butts on the line with some win total predictions and all that good stuff, so we can make fun of each other all year long. But when it comes to the Pope, couldn't help but notice that you didn't mention he is a White Sox fan, but every Chicagoan is a Bears fan. So I'm just saying right now, whatever you want in Appleton, Wisconsin, your Rosemary's and all that stuff, I don't think it means anything because we finally got the big man upstairs on our side. I'm kidding. My wife absolutely loves all things Pope. So us moving back here a couple of years ago, it's been really special for her. I think it's incredibly cool. And on a very serious note, as a Chicagoan, I am just honored that the first American Pope is from the place that I grew up in. Yeah. And I am rooting for him with a full throat that he obviously represents the papacy well and can obviously whatever he can engender with his thoughts and feelings. I follow him on Twitter now. I love everything, all his little messages. Love what he says. Love all about it. But yeah, the best part about it is he goes. I guarantee you, the Pope goes to sleep at night and like puts his head on his pillow and he goes, Rex is my quarterback. Rex is my quarterback.
Rexy Rex.
Why did Shane Waldron pitch the ball on 3rd and 1 in the red zone? Or he goes, you know what? Paul Konerko really is that good. He really is that good. And that's what I love to think about when he goes to sleep at night. So
I think he might have nightmares of the freezer BJ Raji picking one. And off of Haney just headed into the end zone, the NFC Championship game, Joey. I just had to throw that one out there.
Yeah, you say BJ Raji, and he goes, "Don't make me curse. Don't make me curse." But no, it's a special thing. Chicago's really enjoying it. It's been great, and it's great to see you guys.
Yeah, you too. And speaking of religion, sometime we'll get to it. Last year we were on in May. We didn't talk about, to us, Tay and I, religion, Steve Albini, music in our generation. We didn't get to have that conversation, Joey. I saw some of the things you said. You, Tay, and I have more to talk about that you have any idea about what Tay and I got into and what we did as youths and still do. Someday we'll get to that part of religion.
Oh, when I come back in August, let's do that. We can't do that now. I want to do at least 10 minutes with you on that. Great. I can't wait. That sounds great. That sounds
awesome. Well,
thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you, Joey. If you go follow him at Joey Sports Guy on X, and he's on the radio. He's on Spotify. You can find him all over the place. So go check him out. We really appreciate you having him on. And looks like the Cubs are two runs back to the Twins 3. So good luck with that tonight, Joey.
We're gonna fly that L tonight. Brew Crew will be 2 back. Let's go.
Gentlemen, I take my leave. Into the summer I go. I love you, brothers. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, Joey. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Take care, Joey.
See you guys.
Have a great night.
Awesome. That was great. He even has the belt. That was classic.
That was great.
That's that kind of reminds me a little bit of a Clay Matthews moment, Ren, when he got up on the stage. What is that? 2011, the coldest January, or was it early February day we've had in forever.
Yeah, we were there. Yep.
Puts the belt on Aaron Rodgers, so that was giving me some of those vibes. But yeah,
we don't want Bears fans to have any of those vibes, Tay. That is unacceptable.
I mean, but it's all in context of the Bears being the offseason champions, which they are. So that was great insight from Joey. And he was a little short on time tonight, but that's okay because we'll have him back next month. And he really wants to lay it down, Ren. He wants to do predictions. He wants to go head to head because I don't know, this whole Bears winning 3 times against the Packers in the last 10 years. I think for them, it's something that they need to have mentally, because otherwise they're calling, they got the Pope. They got the Pope in town from their town.
Like I said,
it's
nightmares though, Tay. They got nightmares. Yeah. They've lost 17 out of the last 20, so not so good for Bears fans out there.
No, so we appreciate Joey coming on. We'll have him back on. But you and I will be back on soon talking about some more off-season stuff. Training camp is in a couple weeks, so we'll prepare for that. Stay tuned. Check out our YouTube channel. Go follow us on socials. And, of course, subscribe to the podcast. We really appreciate it. So, Ren, thanks for joining me. And we want to shout out Joey. Thanks for joining us on
thank you, Joey.
The podcast.
Much appreciated. Especially in the offseason. Having the offseason champ on is a lot of fun. Yeah. So until episode 320, Tay, on the pup list.